I, of course, understand that there's expectation and pressure in that sense, but to be honest, I really don't feel it anymore. I just feel excited about telling the story. And the story this season, they said you're playing Halbrand as Sauron, which was a big, it was a big relief because I was sus. I was kind of like thinking maybe there's more to this Halbrand character, so it was nice to finally be officially told.
By this stage, there's something in him that wants to rebel against that, wants to do his own thing, because he feels sidelined by the other elves.
He inadvertently inspires Sauron to make a bunch of rings.
Hi.
Hey man.
Hi.
How excited are you for the release of the show?
Very excited.
Yeah, very. It's going to be nice. And we're kind of the same as everyone else because we've seen the first 3 episodes. So after week 1, we'll be watching it like everyone else.
Yeah.
And Charlie, playing the main antagonist in one of the most beloved franchises of all time is no small feat, especially since this particular character is mostly shown as a force, invisible force, or completely armored. So how does it feel to become the face of Sauron?
It's cool. It's a real privilege, and I think the greatest joy I've had from it has been the experience of actually doing it, right? Like doing the acting. We had such an amazing time. And I, of course, understand that there's expectation and pressure in that sense, but to be honest, I really don't feel it anymore. I just feel excited about telling the story. And the story this season is super cool. It's when we're making the Rings of Power, and that's just been the most joyful experience.
Out of curiosity, had JD and Patrick already told you that this was your character's arc and you were going to be Sauron?
No, they didn't. They actually didn't tell me until we were filming the 3rd episode. We were just about to start filming the 3rd episode. Yeah, and then they actually took me into a part of the set that it's like the Northern Waste part where you actually see the opening sequence of this season.
Is that where the orcs are?
Yeah,
Or
and then
frozen?
frozen in the walls and stuff. And they say this is your kingdom.
Yeah.
They said this. They said you're playing Halbrand as Sauron, which was a big. It was a big relief because I was sus. I was kind of thinking maybe there's more to this Halbrand character, so it was nice to finally be officially told.
Yeah. And Charles, when we see Celebrimbor for the first time, you won't expect, those who haven't read Tolkien literature, won't expect him to be this complex, morally ambiguous character later.
Yes.
How is your equation going to evolve and develop in this season?
In many ways. Almost as soon as we meet Celebrimbor in season 2, he's answering the door to this person here.
Ding dong.
And we see him pleased to see, even though he's been told that he shouldn't see Halbrand. By this stage, there's something in him that wants to rebel against that, wants to do his own thing, because he feels sidelined by the other elves. So he lets him in, and they forge this. Once Halbrand has reinvented himself in front of Celebrimbor's eyes as this deity, they forge this alliance and decide to press forth with his plan. Well, their mutual plan, because they both need each other. They need each needs something from the other. The plan can't proceed without 2 of them. Yeah.
And though the manipulation factor is there, do you think Celebrimbor is one of the reasons why the Reign of Darkness returned? He has played a role in it?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I would say he definitely reignites a flame within Sauron.
Yeah.
That he inadvertently inspires Sauron to make a bunch of rings.
Yeah. Equally, within the relationship, there's a lot of resistance every now and again from my side.
Yeah.
So which inflames him in various ways.
Yeah.
And it becomes very kind of jagged and ugly as we go further into the season.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And you have worked on a series like The Crown.
Yes.
And here you are working on, that's the complete historical drama. Here it's a fantasy epic. So for both the characters that you did in both these shows, you have a lot of material to like learn their backgrounds, details and all, historical books and Tolkien literature here.
Yeah.
So do you go into like finer details of your characters, or do you just like stick to what the creators of these shows have written down?
Whatever role you do, I do. I'm sure it's the same for many actors. You want to know as much as there is to know. So if there's stuff to read and research, you will do it, because that's the juice, that's the meat of the job. And that's before you even start shooting something. You know, I love that process of getting all the material you can get your hands on, learning, watching stuff as much as you can, just to absorb. I become very narrow-minded when I'm working. Everything I listen to, everything I watch usually has something to do with what I'm doing. Because it's about absorption. So in both those cases, I would put as much work in.
Yeah. And have you both watched the OG Lord of the Rings trilogy, the 3 movies?
Yeah.
Peter Jackson?
Yes.
Yes. So my one question is, which is that one scene that comes to your mind when you like think about those films, the 3 films that you think is like so good, or the first one that comes over the top of your head?
For me, it would be the opening, when basically they're telling the story. We're telling a very extended version of the story they tell in those opening minutes.
When you said the opening, I pictured. I thought you meant when Aragorn opens the doors. You know that scene when he opens the doors in Helm's Deep and he smashes it and he looks incredibly cool. That's the first
that
thing.
scene's known as the opening.
Nice.
That's my.
Is that
that's
the scene
my
you would say? Okay, so we
would
both
say
like openings.
Yeah, exactly. 2 different types.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this question has come to you quite a few times. Like, if not Halbrand, Sauron, and not Celebrimbo, which other character would you have liked to play in this series?
I say Gil-galad. There's something about the king that I find quite cool.
I like saying a different one every time. So I'm going to say, who would be quite fun to play? I can't say him. What about Kemen?
Oh, Kemen would be fun.
He's a little kind of just so annoying.
Yeah.
As in, like, Leon is so good at it.
A big,
And oh God. Be quite fun to play, quite a good role to play.
Yeah. Or one of the townsfolk in the market scene.
They're always good, yeah. Very rich, those kind of
rich characterization.
Yeah.
And the last question, like from the entire franchise, The Lord of the Rings, Hobbits, and Rings of Power, which character would you say is like the closest to your like real life personality? I would say I'm a Sam.
Okay.
And like, yeah.
I wanted to play Sam.
No, I'm sorry, that's taken.
Taken.
Like, it's taken. You can't. You can be Frodo if you want, like, I'll have your
Sam's
back.
the one.
Yeah. Okay, then we can.
Am I allowed as well?
Okay.
We can share the role.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to go with Gandalf.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A wizard.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm not going to explain that answer at all.
Fine.
Just going to leave it at that.
Okay, I'll bring it up later.
All the best, guys. All the
Thank
best for
you.
the show.
Thank you very
so
much.
Thanks very much.